And then we'll copy it. And then we'll copy it. And then we'll copy it again. And then we'll copy it again. Man, 2023 starting off with a bang here. What is up, my friends? Welcome. Happy New Year. First of all, to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. Today we're playing some Explorer. That's right, the Pioneer format on Arena. Almost Pioneer. It's getting there. It's getting really, really close. And a really exciting deck. This is very similar to a deck that I played at the Regional Championship a few months ago in Pioneer. We ported it over to Explorer, and really, really cool take on Izzet. No Arclight Phoenixes. That's right. This is an Izzet deck. It looks a lot like an Arclight Phoenix deck. We have a bunch of cheap 1-mana spells, Ledger Shredder, one of the key cards in the format. But we're not playing Arclight Phoenix. And why is that the thing? Well, that's the thing because Crackling Drake is just really, really good. And of course, Graveyard Hate is very good against Arclight Phoenix. And Arclight Phoenix also has issues against the card Shieldred, being a card that's very, very good against card draw. And Arclight is a card that it's good. It's a chip shotty card, but it adds some variance to your deck where, like, if you don't find Arclight your top 20 cards, things get awkward. It's bad against Graveyard Hate, and this allows the deck to play a little more of kind of a hybrid, like kind of like control-y, mid-rangey, almost like combo-y aspect, where you have Crackling Drake here, which is a huge creature, hard to kill, doesn't care about Graveyard Hate, often has 10 plus power. And then you have Fable the Mirror Breaker, one of the best cards printed in the last decade, honestly. And both cards are both excellent in and of themselves and work very well together. So Fable's, of course, going to allow you to possibly copy Crackling Drake. The treasure tokens give you extra mana for Crackling Drake, which is awesome. And they're both really good grindy cards. And this improves the matchup against decks like Rakdos midrange significantly, where you have these really, really good cards instead of a Phoenix that just gets, killed and exiled by Graveyard Trespasser or whatever. So the problem, of course, is in Explorer, there are no Delve cards yet. There is no Treasure Cruise, which is a huge factor in Pioneer. But we have Ox of Agonas, which is actually a pretty awesome card. Plays a very similar role. You fill up your graveyard, kind of do your thing, and then all of a sudden you exile a bunch of cards out of your graveyard, draw some cards, and you also get a 5/2 along with it, which is pretty cool as well. So we have this deck that can play kind of a controlling game. It can be a little aggressive. It has a lot of raw power as well, and most importantly, I think it's very efficient. I mean, look at these 1-drops. Just infinite 1-mana removal spells, infinite 1-mana tricks, Spell Pierce, very efficient deck, and awesome. I love this deck. It's really, really fun to play. And let's go into the game. So first, a quick word from our sponsor. A lot of partying on New Year's. Sorry, I apologize. Quick word from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
CoolStuffInc is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right. Back in gold. The ladder has just reset. It is the new year. New year, new ladder, and new us. Let's fire up our overlay here and put that in the right spot. Sorry, usually it's over here. Yep, that's good. All right, great, good. And let's look at our hand here. And we've got Fading Hope, Maximize Velocity, Fable. So we have 2 of our 1-ofs and 2 Fables. We're on the draw. We can keep this. It's not great. We have a good mana. Fading Hope can buy some time. We see a Mausoleum Wanderer. So some Bant Spirits, perhaps. And this is probably going to be a tough one given the quality of our hand, but we'll see what we can do. Draw Hall, play Hall. We got Hall and Spirebluff Canal. Nice early lands. Velocity is a 1-of. Pretty cool card to have access to give your Drakes haste out of nowhere, which is really, really cool. But here's the Phantom. Alright, so we're going to Fading Hope Phantom. Buy a little time here. Our hand is kind of slow, so usually we have a million removal spells here. Strangles, Fire Impulse, cool. I'll keep this Impulse. And probably just kill the Mausoleum Wanderer, honestly. And keep the Impulse. We'll kill Wanderer. And just going to do it now while they're tapped out. Important to note there's no Spell Queller on Arena. There are still a few differences between Explorer and Pioneer, but playing Arena, of course, is a treat. So, Shock and Breeding Pool. We see Empyrean Eagle. 2/3 flyer pumps the other flyers. Sure. So we're going to go land Fable here, which is obviously great. Discard Velocity. This is a card that you don't really need in your hand, as you can jumpstart it whenever you want, which is kind of cool. So get our Fables going and try and find some kill spells. The fear here is if they start stacking up Lords, you can't kill stuff. This is pretty interesting. If they just say go here at 3 mana up, and I mean, this looks like Spellcaller. I don't think Spellcaller was on Arena. We're going to discard Maximize Velocity. We're just going to discard the Consider too, I think. Which puts an extra spell in our graveyard, draw some more cards without actually having to cast it. So I'm going to keep a Spell Pierce for, they're probably playing Company, and this is just a weird turn. I'm not sure what they have here. Might have Rattle Chains, I guess, but why would they shock this land in? So let's discard those two. Draw Shore Up and Ox of Agonas. Alright, we're going to go land. And I mean, if they have Rattle Chains, it would be a 3-2. I'll just attack here, honestly. I want to cast Fable. We have Shore Up also, too. We need to, like, win a combat, so let's attack. Looking to play second Fable and discard this Ox and really get our treasure cruise on. Just getting in, cool. Alright, let's play Fable. Some sort of a counter spell here. No. Alright, I'm getting a little concerned. Why did they shock this land in? Oh, they have Sailor. Alright. Spectral Sailor. No chains. Unless they're holding chains, which is very possible, obviously. Supreme Phantom. Alright, so they are sizing up well here, unfortunately. I'm almost sure they have rattle chains at this point, which is kind of bad. Drawing a Drake would be great. Drake, of course, blocks very well here, too. We are sort of dying, so untap, we draw a Shredder, which is pretty good. Discarding Ox for sure. It's cool because we have Velocity too to give our Reflection haste, which is kind of cute. Discard Ox, and I think Shore Up is kind of worthless here. Discard both those, and we draw Fiery Impulse, Crackling Drake. It's pretty good actually. So we got a lot of action now. Of course, Crackling Drake blocks very well. We honestly could just, like, fire up a Drake. We could, like, maximize velocity our Reflection, play the Drake, copy it. Then when we attack, we have mana for Fire Impulse and Spell Pierce and stuff. So we can also go attack with both Goblins, make 2 treasures, cast Shredder, cast Drake, Connive. That's pretty cool, too. Again, we're scared of Rattle Trains, so, like, this Impulse probably isn't going to stick. But putting a Shredder and a Drake in play to block would be pretty good. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to combat. We're going to attack with these two. Make some treasures. We are rich. Rich beyond our wildest dreams. And we are going to play a Ledger Shredder. We're going to play a Crackling Drake. We're going to have 1 mana for Spell Pierce or Fire Impulse. Okay, I have a land. That sucks. We really want to discard a spell here. Honestly, to have a 2/4 blocker. I kind of want to keep the Spell Pierce. Is there a world where we discard this Impulse? Impulse can't kill Phantom or Imperium Eagle. And Spell Pierce counters a company on their turn. Really want a 2/4 here. 2/4 is pretty clutch. Very interesting choice here. Drawing any spell there would have been ideal. Obviously, I think keeping both of these cards would have been great. We also have an opportunity to possibly copy the Drake next turn, which is great. Yeah, this is weird, but I'm gonna discard the Impulse, I think. Get a 2/4. See if Drake resolves. And if they like a Lofty Denial here, we slam that also, which is great. Nope, resolves. Draw. To land. Alright, well, sure. We're going to play that. And we're just going to say go. It's funny, we can actually... Hold on. We actually might want to maximize velocity, the Reflection, and then in our end step, copy Crackling Drake, so we have a big blocker and draw a card. That's kind of gas, too. That takes down Spell Pierce, but with multiple blockers, that might be good. I kind of like that, too, actually. Let's do that. Let's target this. Discard land. So it's important to note this will work because the token goes away at the beginning of the next end step. So if it's done in your end step, you've already passed the beginning of your end step, so it'll die on their end of turn, which is an important, cool little trick. So let's go to our end step by clicking our end step thing, and we are not in the end step. We're going to copy the Drake. Now, shields are down on Spell Pierce, but that's okay, honestly. I think that this is a much better play than potentially hitting their company. So, another Drake. And again, this is the real power of a deck. Copying Crackling Drake with Reflection and Kiki-Jiki is everything you could ever want it to be. There's Rattle Chains, as predicted. But now I have a ton of blockers. And realistically, it's hard to attack into a 6-4, because this is going to die anyway. But this can block and trade with anything, which is great, too. So, play land. And then next turn, of course, we can copy the Drake again and go on the offensive because now they're at 10. So, enough spells in our hands here. We probably get this to 10 power by itself. So, we really want to keep our Drake alive here. I don't mind if the Shredder dies, but I definitely want to keep our Drake alive. They got nothing. They got no attacks. That's incredible. All right. Untap. Draw Strangle. Flip another Reflection to Kiki-Jiki. Let's already consider. Bin Fable. We're past Fable at this point. Let's draw an Opt. Cool. Let's just cast Opt. And this is the Connive. I don't even want to cast Strangle, honestly. I think that, like, they're just still... I guess they definitely don't necessarily have Rattle Chains here, but... There's no good targets anyway. Just discard the Strangle. Pump the Shredder up, which is important. Resolve Opt. Fire Impulse. We'll keep that. We might or might not cast it, but I think it's another cheat spell for Ox too. So let's copy our Crackling Drake. Use Spell Pierce for company and Fire Impulse, which is great. We draw a Shredder. And then the big question is, what is going to attack? I think just the Drake. And he has company here. Try and hit the Tappy Spirit. Oh, please do. Oh, I want you to do it. Come on, I want you to do it. You gotta do something. You gotta do something, my friend. Some big Crackling Drakes. So you can see here, I can kind of take this like controlling role against more creature decks. Be a little more aggressive against other decks. And it's kind of like a combo deck too, because these Drakes are just so big. You're all of a sudden you're just like bam, bam, 2 10 power creatures attack you. It's almost like a combo kill. A little Splinter Twin-esque. Shades of Kiki-Jiki can allow us to attack. Definitely the 9/4, obviously. I don't want to lose my initial Crackling Drake, so and then attacking with these is a little sketch too. Yeah, we'll just go like this. I don't think we're in a huge rush here, honestly. We got tons of flying blockers. Fire up the old Chumpskis. And no draw, so I'm feeling a company here for sure. We're gonna get a nice nasty company. We'll go Haul and we'll just say go. This is gonna die. They're gonna cast company. We're gonna Spell Pierce it and then Fire Impulse their Rattle Chains. Get out of here. Unless they have their own Spell Pierce. They do not. And then while we're tapped out, we're gonna Impulse the chains. Pretty good. Spectral Sail, you got it. But they trigger our Shredders or discard a land. We got Ox next turn too. Escape is casting a spell, yes. And from what looked like a really rough start, we've turned this game around tenfold. Pretty good turnaround. Skyclave Apparition. Well, they finally get to kill my Drake, but now we have Ox ready to reload, so we're gonna go Shredder. Is there a reason to cast this Opt? Not really, honestly. We're going to discard and draw a card anyway. I want to have more mana available post Ox. So it's Ox. Exiling the non-spells mostly. That's fine. Not quite Treasure Cruise, but you know. Discard Opts. We're discarding these cards anyway, so discard Spikefield Hazard. Ox discards our hand. We draw Beacon Bolt, Crackling Drake, Spikefield Hazard. We're going to hazard as a land. And just going to say go here. We're just going to end step copy with Reflection. And untap, Beacon Bolt, Crackling Drake. We can do whatever we want, honestly. Actually, we have a really cool play here. We can copy our own Reflections and then play Drake and then make like 4 copies of it. Wanderer, sure. Please don't concede, opponent. So same trick, end of turn. Center turn, we're going to copy stuff. Copy this. And this one copies this. Please don't concede. I'm not done with you yet. Play land. Play Drake. And then we'll copy it. And then we'll copy it. And then we'll copy it again. And then we'll copy it again. Man, 2023 starting off with a bang here. And we'll copy it again. And we'll copy it again. And I think that's enough. We'll move to combat. Boom, 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 boom. And that's the allure of this deck, is that we can kind of come out of nowhere like this. And just like, all of a sudden, you're just like, boom, you're dead. There you go. Draw a card, Wanderer, sure. I suppose they could block here and not die, but they will lose everything. And that's what I'm talking about. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to bring in our Rending Volleys. We're going to bring in our Mystical Dispute. We're going to bring in... Anger's a little weird against them because like they can lure it up really well. Beacon Bolt's also a little iffy against them. It's weird because like Spell Pierce is obviously very good against Company, but bad against everything else. Cut the Fading Hope. Cut the Shore up. Not going to talk my crap. Velocity is also unnecessary here. We don't really need to be... We can be more of a controlled deck against them. So, volleys are huge, obviously. Spell Pierce. Anger on the draw. I mean, Beacon Bolt's good at killing larger creatures, which is pretty important. I kind of like that. I don't think you want Spell Pierce, especially on the draw. Let's bring in Bolt and double Anger. Just cut the Spell Pierces. Obviously, Company's very, very good. And they could have sideboard counter spells, too, but... That's kind of the cool thing, too, is when you're not playing Arclight, you can play Anger of the Gods. I guess you can just play Brotherhood's End, too, but... it's also an Abrade. Bring the Abrade. Let's just do 1 Anger, I think. Is 1 Anger or 1 Bolt? Because the problem is, like I said, with the Anger of the Gods, like, it's pretty easy for them to counter this, and it's also possible that they might not be big enough to kill their stuff. Let's actually not bring in the Angers. Let's just bring in, let's leave 1 Spell Pierce. No, let's have a Stroke. A Stroke will always counter Company. Not Spell Pierce. Sorry. little indecision here. That's kind of the cool thing, though, is it's like sees so many cards every game with Considers and Ops and stuff like that, that you're, you can play these kind of like, one-ofs and kind of find the card you need at the right time, which is cool, so. Alright. Going into battle here with a literal army of removal spells. 4 Fire Impulse, 2 Rending Volley, 2 Strangle, 1 Abrade, 2 Bolts. So, lots of good stuff here. You can keep this. You got Mausoleum Wanderer. We're just going to kill this, I think. Just going to try and let them not snowball out of control here. Strangle this. We drew our second Beacon Bolt, which is not good. This is definitely the kind of like your one-of card, but this is the kind of card that can kill larger creatures like Shieldroots. It's very, very important in the board, but don't want to draw 2 in your opening 6 or opening 8, but sure, it's fine. Alright, we are going to shock in a land here and play Shredder. Also a good card to discard again because it has Jumpstart, so... And a Skyclave the Shredder. Sure. Pretty good. Not the end of the world, though, honestly. Take 2. You go Fable. So, they go like Land Company here, probably in some doo-doo, but... Supreme Phantom, alright. Of course, Wanderer can defend the Phantom as well. So no blocks. This will allow us to attack with our Goblin, though, which is kind of cool. We're going to discard at least 1 Beacon Bolt. I Beacon Bolt opt. So I want to get 2 spells and get rid for Impulse also. We can cast Bolt and cast Impulse. Because they have this Wanderer, try and kill the Supreme Phantom. Kind of like that. Discard both of those. We draw Stormcarved Coast, Crackling Drake. Excellent. Alright, so play land. We're going to attack. And we're going to attempt to Impulse the... Let's actually Beacon Bolt the Phantom, and try and maybe draw the Wanderer, and we can impulse it right afterwards. Kill two birds with one stone, sort of. I guess two spirits with two stone. Mystical Dispute, sure. All right, and then we're going to we'll impulse. They're going to sacrifice it, which is fine, I think. Yeah, this is fine. So try and kill this. They'll sack the Wanderer most likely, which is fine. So we've killed the Wanderer at least. And then they're on 2 cards. We have Crackling Drake. We have Fable. We're 10. We're definitely dying here. You know, definitely not out of the woods yet. You know, land company would be pretty good, but that's kind of Spade 2. There's your Dispute. And now you got double Bacon Bolt in the bin. Got Crackling Drake, which Dispute is obviously very good against Crackling Drake, but they have no green yet, so both of our draws a little rocky. Empyrean Eagle. Alright, so down to 5. Consider. I can now double Beacon Bolt. I can bolt the Eagle and then bolt the Supreme Phantom by attacking with the 2/2. Leaving them with only a Skyclave, which is pretty good actually. So we're going to do that. Let's target this, and we'll discard the Consider and the Fable. So discard Consider. Attack Treasure. And bolt this, discarding Fable. Alright, so we've tried to stabilize here. Moving into the mid game. We've got our combo kind of set up. We are out of cards, but, you know, we've done the best we can do. Try and stabilize the game. And we really don't want to block here. We want to keep our production alive. Here comes the 2/2. We're going to take it. They don't have green up for company, which is great. And we draw Opt. Alright. Well, unfortunately, we can't Drake and copy it yet. We can send in the this first and set up a copy. Alright, please don't have Mystical Dispute. Oh, wow. Alright, we're in. Alright, and you're going to say go. Backs against the wall. Two cards in hand, just untap. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, let's go to the end step here. Oh yeah, let's go. Copy it up. Some sort of kill spell here would be pretty good, but I don't know what kill spells there are exactly. Something's going on. Otawara to bounce the reflections. That is really good, but they're dead now. So we should have cast a spell and they die. I think I might have Otawara the Drake there, honestly. That's 8. Yeah, they're super dead. Kill this. You can see how crazy the Drakes are. All of a sudden your opponent's just dead, which is definitely the allure of Drake over Arclight, in that like you just all of a sudden your opponent just dies out of nowhere, and it's a really, really powerful thing to have access to. Just like boom, you're dead. Surprise. That's it. You know, whereas the Arclight deck has to kind of like, you know, nickel and dime a little bit. You know, I gotta get Arclight, attack for 3, attack for 6. So sweet, awesome first match. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Alright, on the draw. It's fun. I like it a lot, actually. Rule spell, little card draw, and turn for the Fable. Ooh. Alright, Thoughtseize. So, this is where the changes to this Phoenix deck help out a lot. Both Fable and Crackling Drake are exceptionally good against Rakdos mid-range. So, take the Fable, no problem. We're going to Spirebluff and Opt. Have the option to Impulse, too, if you want to. Bugbear, sure. Opt's looking for its bottom at land. And we draw a Spikefield Hazard and a Shredder. Not playing Shredder here into a possible Fatal Push. I want to try to get a little value off it first. Hazard's land, I think. You know, this deck is a little more mana hungry than most normal Phoenix decks if we're playing Crackling Drake, so I make sure we make our land drops. Graveyard Trespasser, very good against Phoenix. Not so good against us. It's still fine against us, but targeting the enchantment, not the spell, is definitely wrong. Because I have Impulse, obviously, but that's fine. We draw an Opt. So now I can... No, I can't do that. We need... Oh, it's 2 or more. I'm sorry. I was thinking it was 3. 2 more. So we could just go Ledger Shredder, Impulse to the Trespasser, discard Opt to the trigger, and kill it. Also have a Connive too, I guess. Question is, like, do we need to do that? Or can we just beat this Trespasser straight up, probably? We show Shredder Opt. I think I like Shredder Opt, honestly. I don't think that Trespasser's like that important. So let's go Shredder Opt. Give Drake next turn. Shredder will just discard a land because we don't have any good spells. We have all lands, basically. Strangle can go on the bottom. I don't need Strangle that bad. Let's draw a land. Sure. Alright, so a little landy. A Thoughtseize here would be pretty devastating, I'm not going to lie. But they have Fable, sure. Attack. Eat a spell, sure. No lucks. Untap and draw and keep a Consider. So we could cast Drake here. That would allow them to get their Goblin going, though. Whereas you could play Consider, Impulse to try and find something cheaper to play. It's kind of a tough call, honestly. Just like casting a Drake is pretty great. They're usually a little light on ways to kill it. However, they have Fatal Push. Well, I guess they have Push. They might have killed the Shredder already, but Fatal Push off the treasure can kill it pretty easily. I'm going to wait a turn. I Consider. Play Consider. Another Shredder. That's pretty awesome. Keep that. And we'll play another Shredder. Can hide the first Shredder. Obliterating Bolt's also excellent. I'll discard a land here. We're going to make a red. And then we're going to attack for 1. And we already cast our second spell. So there's no reason to Impulse just yet, I don't think. We're just going to go. We'll Impulse in their combat step. Let them discard their Fable cards first without knowing that we have this. Discard 2 lands. Fable's so good. It's just such a good card. That's why it's in our deck. Alright, so Impulse this. The only really nasty thing about Trespasser is if it hits our Ox of Agonas. That would be annoying, but... So, of course, they just drew a bunch of cards there, so there's definitely a chance they can cast Thoughtseize this turn, which is a little rough, honestly. But, you know, that's the downside to us not playing Drake. Play Castle, play Harvester, and no Thoughtseize. Excellent. Another Drake. Oh, my God. All right, well, here we go. Ride the Drake train. Let's draw a 1-mana spell, please. We did. Shock this in. Impulse this. Shred. I'll discard the Obliterating Bolt, I think. I think I want a 2/4. And there's the Ox. So now we can't discard the Ox here because they would just eat it with the Trespasser, so we'll discard the land. And then I think we'll attack with our 1/3 and keep our 2/4 back to block Trespasser. So we are like need to be aware that we're at 12 here, and they have, you know, a couple creature lands also. So see, they fire up a Blood. They're gonna just stomp me. Ooh, aggressive. All right, flip Fable. Play land. Okay. I mean, Drake blocks well also, so gonna say go and go to Knight. Wow. All right. We're gonna play a second Drake, I guess. See what turns up. Try and draw a 1-mana spell if possible. That would be the ideal scenario. Spirebluff Canal. All right. I mean, not the best draws, but I think we send in 1 Drake. We leave back Bolt Shredders to block stuff. They're going to be able to copy their Graveyard Glutton, which is a little annoying. But they can't drain us for that much, honestly. They did choose to not cast Bone Crusher Giant, which is a little weird. Can only drain for 1. Yeah, I'm gonna attack with this, I think. We have a hardcast Ox next turn, which is pretty good. So let's say go. They're gonna go for the old Castle Locthwain, take 2. You got Blood also. All right. They're digging. Copy the Glutton, which is good, you know. Don't want to get cheesed out here by like a combination of like Stomp and Glutton triggers. They get to exile their own creature. We go to 9. Maybe it'll be 9/9. Let's see what happens here in the attack. Alright. Now it comes down to like how low am I willing to go. This makes the Ox almost worthless, honestly. I mean we could hardcast the Ox, but we're definitely blocking here, I think. The question is, are we going to block this Glutton? Obviously, we have lethal in the air with these Drakes. Hardcasting Ox next turn. I got a 5. Could I get cheesed out? Definitely. I think it's fine, though. This puts them dead to a lot of stuff. Next turn, I need to have 2 kill spells. So let's do this. Alright, down to 5. Soaring the Mirthless. So, pretty good. A life-linking flying blocker. But I have a lot of looks here. I have a lot of looks at the win here, honestly. We get to play Ox, and then we just draw a bevy of 1-mana removal spells. Wow, they have Fatal Push too. That was a good draw. Alright, so we discard a Spirebluff Canal. So a lot of outs to kill them. And of course, the Drake here is insane because they are being exiled by graveyard. It doesn't matter, actually. So draw another land. Jeez. Alright, land Ox. We have 3 draws here to draw. Opt, Fable, that was not very good. Alright, cast Ops. Connive. Draw Beacon Bolt. Ouch. Alright, I'm sorry, no, they're not dead. The top card's Spikefield Hazard. I don't want that. It's bottom that. I'm sorry, actually, I don't want that. They gain the life on the blocks, so they block the Drake. Yeah, it doesn't work. And then Soaring's at 2. I could spike the Soaring, I suppose, to stop them from minus thing. They might just kill me. I think I'm just dead to the creature lands, honestly. Let's bottom this. Try and draw Fire Impulse. For the win, Shore Up. Shore Up's actually pretty interesting. Because if they have a kill spell, we get to still get them. So I could use it offensively and attack with the Drake, and they block, and then I just get to untap the Drake and block other stuff too. Or I could use it defensively to play around a removal spell. Because if I use it offensively and they have a kill spell, I just lose. But we get to untap and Beacon Bolt twice. Let's just say go here. Very scary spot with creature lands, active reflection, a lot going on here, but Croxa. That's actually just totally fine. You just discard the Beacon Bolt, so I guess they get exiled with the Trespasser, but I mean that's fine. I think can't go to 2. I mean need to keep Shore Up. Yeah. If they want to go for Croxa, I get to loot here. Oh, Karn's barking. Liana of the Veil. Okay, we shred. Draw another Crackling Drake. It's a slugfest. Alright. Sure. We block 2 things. I don't think short matters anymore, honestly. Unless they have push too. They have their cards at end. Let's go short. Make another vampire here too. Close game.
I've come for answers.
Sack creature. Alright, we're gonna sacrifice the Ox.
I've always hated criminals.
Now, if the Trespasser attacks, they can only eat one of these. They're just gonna say go? No, okay. So, just throw away Trespasser to eat my Ox or Bolt, because they're both very good here. Eat the Bolt. So no life lost. You block with the large Shredder. They have copy Vampire here, but we've got a lot going on this turn. All right, play Drake. He's going to empty our hand before we Ox. Draw Consider. Where should I cast the Ox now? Ox, a 2 mana up. Exiling definitely the creatures. Shred. Discard the spell. Pump it. Spell Pierce, sure. Obviously, I think we're just discard our hand anyway here. And we discard our hand, draw 3. We draw Obliterating Bolt, Spirebluff Canal, Fading Hope. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. So now we get to attack. They go to copy, and we kill it. We bounce it in response, and their blocks are terrible. Once again, we need to not die to these creature lands and this Kroxa. But I think we can do that. So let's move to combat. I think we send only the Drake. Send the lethal attacker. They're going to go to copy. We're going to bounce it in response. They probably should have done this before I drew the cards, honestly, because like, they're going to do it anyway. Fading Hope. Bin Hall. That's gone. Chump block with the remaining vampire. Whew. That was a close one. Scary, scary game there. All right. Game 2. Search for Azcanta is phenomenal here. Abrade, Beacon Bolt, both interesting. Definitely like our spell pierces against them. Counters removal spells, Fable the Mirror Breaker, Planeswalkers. I think Fading Hope's kind of... Fading Hope's pretty meh, honestly, in general. Don't need Velocity here. They have ways to exile it. It's more of a grindy game anyway. Obliterating Bolt is... It's not really that necessary, I don't think. If it killed Shieldred, obviously, we have Bacon Bolt to do that, so... Shorp's pretty good. I got both these bolts, I think. Just keep our cheap removal in. We obviously don't want like a million removal spells. They do have creatures to kill though, so we want to keep a good amount of them in. Disdainful Stroke, Dispute, Gust, Hope. Everything else here is good, I think. Honestly, Anger the Gods is pretty good against them, or on the draw too. Actually, I like Anger against them. Let's bring the Angers. Bring the Angers and cut like 2 Strangles, I think. Maybe cut the Abrade and the Strangle. They could have Hearse, but like Hearse isn't even that good against us. It's fine. It's fine, but yeah, Anger the Gods is an exceptionally good answer to Fable the Mirror Breaker, where you always get the flip Fable and the token, and also it's a good answer to Trespasser, Bone Crusher Giant, and like they're gonna be building a board. So, and we can double up against a She-Older with it. So, all right, it's kind of a sketchy hand, but we have on the draw with Consider. I'm gonna keep this, and if they Thoughtseize us and take the Consider, like we're just drawing to any land or cantrip, so I think this is fine. And we're 48% to draw land. And we also have the 2 hazards, which count as lands that don't count for this. So that's plus 4. That's 42%. And then we have 4 opt and 3 consider, which is 14 more percent. That's 42 plus 56%. So like we're well over a flip to draw land, and we have 3 shots at it. So we're gonna keep. And that they have Thoughtseize too. So we already have consider. So great. So shock us in. Of course, we always draw the most expensive card in our deck, but. Harvester, we consider, and bin. We draw land. It's a land. It's tap land, but that's fine. We draw. So do that. Kill this. Drawing a land next turn would be ideal, also. Trespasser, sure. Definitely good against my Azcanta, unfortunately, but. Draw opt. We're gonna opt here. I think making a land drop's too important on this turn. We could play Shredder and just say go, but like I think we gotta make a land drop. So let's have 2 looks at it. There it is. All right, so land, and then we could Shredder or search here. It's interesting. Pretty interesting choice. Shredder doesn't really affect this board. I'm gonna search. Obviously, it's awkward to have Trespasser in play, but I'm gonna search. And then next turn we can go Shredder with Shore up, or go Shredder if we draw land. Finding Anger would be ideal also. Oh yeah, give me an Anger of the Gods, please. Steam Vents. I would say we want that. Alright, so we go land. We can go Shred, honestly. And then try and save the shore up for Crackling Drake. Drew Spirebluff Canal, so our Crackling Drake shore up plan doesn't really work with that. I might just discard a land. Obviously discarding a spell is better for the Drakes, but over these things, but discard, say go. They play Shelly with the answer, so there's Fatal Push, but now any second spell, of course, will grow my Shredder. So, pretty good start from them. A little stumbly on our side. And a Harvester. Alright, we shred. Damn! Alright, well, that's our shot. That is definitely our shot. 3 cards in hand. Let's start Bacon Bolt, I guess. We're gonna kill this anyway, so. They got a Stomp too. Rending Volley. Sure, it's fine. So now they're almost out of cards. Unfortunately, we can't kill the Fable, but we're gonna bin this. I want to try to race to Azcanta flipping, I think. So that's 6 cards. Let's consider and then Anger. I should might as well consider on their turn. If I have a land, I want to cast it, so play it. So like a tap land of some kind. Consider for Steam Vents. Already have 7, right? This is considers our 7. Yeah, let's take this. That's 8 too. So cast Anger. Get out of here. Get out of here. And thankfully they have no creature lands right now. They have a castle, which is good, but I think we win the long game, so the card draw doesn't matter as much as a threat. So flip Reflection, which is pretty good, but now I get to flip again. I get to flip Azcanta, play Drake with Shore up. Shore up. Blood a land. Also have Bacon Bolt looming too, so even Shielder's not that good. Goes to Knight, bin Spell Pierce, flip. Another Bacon Bolt. Crackling Drake draw. Love this one shore up. I'm going to play it. I think that with the Azcanta in play, we'll have more mana. So, obviously we want to discard cards to Bacon Bolt, but so now we're looking at an 8-4, and once again, this is the power of Crackling Drake, where like, now we've sort of stabilized, but we didn't attack for 3, we're attacking for 10. And then 10, the game is over. So, last card's push, last card's shore up. Now we have a 9 power creature. They get to castle. Castles are good, don't get me wrong. So we still got some work to do here. They were to find a Blood Tithe Harvester or a way to kill Crackling Drake this turn exactly, I would be a little worried. That's a way to kill it. Alright. I mean, it's not the worst. We can still kill their Reflection, but I mean, let's have Azcanta too, so another land, sure. So let's start by Azcanting. See what we draw. Opt or Anger. Let's take the Opt. Let's cast Opt. And let's... Man, I missed search for Azcanta, let me tell you. Alright, land, Bacon Bolt. Alright, so right now it is 9 lands Azcanta versus 6 lands Castle. And I have 2 bolts in the graveyard and a Crackling Drake. I think puts us firmly ahead. No! Croxa! That was a great draw. Alright. Crox is real good here, obviously. Sure. We're gonna just Drake first. And Spell Pierce. Good card to discard to Crox, I suppose. Let's say go. Once again, we've got this huge, 1-2 swing. One punch man here or whatever. They're going to castle over Croxa. Alright. I mean, now we have Spell Pierce for the removal spell too, so. They could have Rending Volley too. I'm gonna just get a draw. Like, obviously, if we Spell Pierce, like I go for the throat here, it's like really awesome, but they could just not have it or have Rending Volley or something like that too. And leaving value on the table is pretty bad, so let's just Azcanta. They have exactly go for the throat, so be it. Alright, they don't. So, they're at 11. We're going to fire it up here. See if we can chain some spells together. Opt, cool. Sure. Opt. Stomp me. Alright, that's pretty lethal, right? Spell Pierce this. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I consider it now. Just less fun, but... Upstairs. One punch. Love it. All right. Play first. Hand's good. Like it. Spell Pierce and Impulse do a really good job bridging the gap. Discard Ox to our Fable. Part of the allure for this deck also, in the no Treasure Cruise format, is that Fable and Drake also just draw cards really well. So you don't need Treasure Cruise. Whereas a Phoenix deck, like, kind of needs it. Well, sure. So we have both creature and non-creature covered here. Consider. Alright, sure. Spell Pierce is typically very good here. Against their planeswalkers and stuff. We'll bin that. No rule spell, just to consider. Sure. Bacon Bolt to the yard. All his planeswalkers too, right? Oh, just creatures, actually. Alright, yeah, I mean... We're gonna let them cast Karn here if they have it, but we gotta play Fable, so... If they go land Karn, he still attack it and stuff, too, so... Get 2 Spell Pierces. I guess Kiora is more likely this turn. God Pharaoh's Statue. Spells cost 2 more. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a card you can get, I guess. Discard Ox Spell Pierce. We're definitely gonna hazard here. I think 1 Spell Pierce is enough. Right? Yeah. Draw land Impulse. Cool. We can just hazard the to kill the Karn and then just we can Impulse the elf, hazard the Karn. I kind of like that, actually. You can hold off on Drake, I think. Just say go. Okay. Topiary Stomper. Sure. This thing cannot attack or block. Cool. Alright, so we stack, make treasure, play Drake, have Spell Pierce up, and say go. We could just let's see what we drop this thing. We could consider look for a land also. Maximize velocity. Well, I guess I should have cast that first. Alright, sure. I guess I should have cast Crackling Drake in case I drew the 1 maximize velocity, but sure. Let's consider here and try and draw land. They are very dead next turn. And say go. We shock things. We don't want to use treasure if we don't have to. Nykthos and Festival. Not today, friend. Get off my plane. And they are super dead. Alright. Yep, there you go. Pow! One shot. Alright, so we're going to bring in our Aether Gusts, our Disdainful Strokes. And I think that's really it, honestly. I guess Bacon Bolt. Say some larger creatures, too. Cut the Fading Hope. Cut the Shore Up. Maximize Velocity is pretty good here. This is a matchup where you can definitely shave down on like a Drake. Because they don't really kill your stuff. So you don't really need more than one Drake, typically. Ox is also a little more iffy, I think. It's kind of weird because like our Lightning Bolty cards are mostly just for killing Land Elves. And they have 8 of them. But they don't really kill much else, which is a little awkward. Strangle's weird too because it's sorcery, so you can't end step on turn 1 and kill their Land Elf, but it can also target a Kiora or Karm, which is kind of cool. Obliterating Bolts hit the 4/4 Troll, which is kind of important. So the question becomes, what do we got? Honestly, I'm gonna shave an Ox. Then we gotta shave one more card. I'm gonna shave one. Is it one Strangle or one Impulse? I think it's a Strangle. I think the instant speedness of Impulse is probably just too important. We have hazards too. Let's do like this. All right, Travis. Mono Green's pretty scary. The Devotion deck is quite powerful. Even if you have answers for stuff, they can produce draws that are pretty terrifying. We have a decent hand. I can't mulligan this. It's not ideal, but we have the answer for a turn 1 elf. There we go. So let's go land. We're gonna Impulse. We can save Strangle to kill a Karn or something like that later. We're just playing a tap line next turn anyway, so let's draw land. Would be cool. Have a Wolfwillow Haven. Sure. Fortunately, they can cast Karn next turn. I guess I drew a land for strokes. We can do that, so that's cool. Play this. We just say go with Opt Up. Little threat light here. We need to have a threat because they will go very big, very fast. Here's a Stomper. That gets a land. But no natural land drop, which is great for us. Considers fine. Let's rebuy. Do it again. Bacon Bolt. Graveyard. Value. Aether Gust. Smokers. Alright. Once again, we need to find some sort of a proactive thing to do here. We can't just sit here behind our counter spells. We aren't a true control deck. You know, we can sort of take that like angle a little bit, but we're not like a control deck, you know, in that truest sense. Kiora with 2 mana up. That's pretty awkward. I cannot Spell Pierce that or Stroke that. Okay, I think we gotta gust this. Make them cast it next turn. Untaps the land with the Stomp with the Haven on it as well for extra mana. Draws cards. Cure is pretty good. Yikes. Okay, well. This hand is not panning out for us. Alright. They're just gonna cast Kiora. I'm gonna bolt this Stomper. Am I? We have Bacon Bolts for larger things. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. It will be live in a turn or two. And I think we just need to do something, so. Play Kiora, hopefully they untap, try and cast Karn, and we'll Spell Pierce it.
Not to brag, but my friend's kind of a thief. I love to make a splash.
Don't play a 4/4, maybe look dumb. No old growth troll, please. Another Stomper. Jeez. It's really good. So you get a land and draw a card. Yeah, not the best hand for us, unfortunately, but we need a little more proactiveness. Draw an opt. Okay. Opt into... I'm going to bottom this, which we need to draw lands or threats, I think, so... We draw a Steam Vents. Alright, I mean, we're going to say go. We have Spell Pierce and Stroke up, but now any land drop allows the Stomper to attack. They play a creature, draw a card off this. They gotta just fire up the freaking Lair of Hydra. Just get it for 10. Like, probably just can't beat that. So, might be going to game 3 here. Play another Haven, sure. That's a lot of mana. That's 6, 7, 8, 9 mana so far this turn. With Cura. Karm, a 2 mana floating. Alright, we'll stroke that. I only have 1 card left. But again, like, I don't think we can beat Stomper plus Hydra, honestly, so... Hopefully they untap this and cast another Karn. We get to Spell Pierce it. They can't play Festival this turn anymore. Again, if they play a card we get Spell Pierce, I'll be really, really happy. This thing still can't attack. They only have 6 mana. Give it all Growth Troll. Alright, nice, nice Obliterating Bolt. I guess we would have just died to the Stomper. Actually, they can't attack yet, but... Draw Spikefield Hazard. Not good. I mean, they have no cards now. So now we can, like, Bacon Bolt the Stomper. I don't even know. This Old Growth Troll's a problem. I guess we could just, like, just kill it. And they get their token or whatever, which kind of sucks, but... have to assume they can attack next turn, so... Casting Strangle and Cure doesn't do very much. Yeah, we're in trouble. Hold Hazard because we could double up on the Old Growth Troll, but... Attack for 9 and 4.
Nature flows with vigor.
Sure. Alright. I mean, this is a lot. Again, I don't know if we can actually even win anymore. You get 6 life here. You draw... we can't. Alright, game 3. That's fine. Awkward hand, obviously. Happens. Need to find a threat there. Game 3 on the play. On the play, it's less important to have Impulse, because we're going to be... maybe not, actually. Yeah, actually, maybe it's better on the play, so I can go land, they go land, elf, I kill it, ends that play a 2-drop. Yeah, actually, let's do it the other way. Bring the Impulse in, and I think we're fine here, honestly. Let's draw a better hand. Let's get something big. Marbles. Play first. And sure. That's fine. We have the turn 1 Consider or Impulse, turn 2 Shredder. Got that early threat, which is very important. Got the answer to their Llanowar Elf, which is important. And they got a counter spell, which is important too, so pay 2 and just say go. Alright. Shoot it dead. Spikefield Hazard. Alright, shred it up. I think second elf's pretty good for us here. We should kill the second elf also. Connive. Willful of Haven, probably the worst thing here. That's what they have, obviously. So we need to draw land. We need to draw land. I mean, we want to leave Stroke up. I don't know if we're going to cast this. We can double opt. They always play lands, I go. Or play land attack, I'm sorry. Do I want to play the Spikefield Cave? No, I'll discard that to the Shredder. People who are looting. So attack for 1, say go. If they cast Karn, I can counter it and draw. If not, I can just draw. I can kill with Hazard. So hopefully, definitely their best ramp spell against us. They're gonna play Stomper. It's fine. Plant Dinosaur. Alright, so end step consider. Spirebluff Canal to the bin. Draw. Another Spikefield Hazard, sure. Guest opt. Connive. Draw. Strangle. Okay. Impulse. Bottom. Draw. Looking for a Fable or a... Oh my god. Help me out here, folks. Come on. Alright, guess we're attacking for 2. Just play Spirebluff Canal and say go. Cavalier of Thorns. No. Can't allow that one. That's a pretty good one. Unfortunately, though, we are running out of stuff. We're going to hazard them and just connive, honestly. We should, like, find something good here. Another land. I'm starting a spell. Just need to make this thing bigger, I think. And draw a Shredder. Alright. Yeah, so our draw has not been too kind this game, unfortunately. Don't got no spells. Say go. They resolve a Cavalier. And now they have carte blanche to resolve. Yeah, we're in big trouble. Alright, yeah, tough game. You know, Mono Green's pretty good. I think it's like a pretty even matchup. But obviously it's, you know, pretty swingy either way. They mill over double Festival. That's disgusting. And now our Stomper's online too. Alright, we draw Treasure Cruise. Now we draw I mean that's our cruise, I guess. Alright, well, let's just get her done, I guess. Here we go. Here's Ox of Agonas. We draw Land Drake Fable. No cheap spell to cast. Can't attack his reach. So we just say go. I mean, we do have the ability to flash us back, I guess. But they have festivals now, and things have the potential to get really, really bad this turn. They could cast like 100 spells this turn. Which I thought with Connive is cool, but here's Stomper. We need another Forest, honestly. Conniving is good. They play a second spell. Draw Obliterating Bolt. Alright. I mean, we're just gonna slam here. Let's play Drake and Fable. And let them cast the Festival next turn. Is what it is. Let's cast Drake first, obviously, and see what we draw, but if we draw a one mana spell, we can dig for a counter maybe, but we don't. So yeah, just Fable. Just Fable and pray here, I think. Play Fable. Getting to a slugfest with mono green is not typically a good idea, but Impulse is not very good here. Aether Gust is very good here. How about Obliterating Bolts? I mean, killing a Stomper is not terrible, so let's just go to land here, I guess. Alright. Say go. This is a big turn. We get to untap here, we might have a pretty good shot. If we don't, or if they, I guess, like, we're probably untapping either way, but the state of the board is going to be very important here. If they have, like, you know, they hit, like, Kiora, I don't know, something here to untap and go again. I guess they can't really, like, go again here. They hit Stomper, Llanowar Elves. Alright. We can beat that. We can beat that. No attacks. Plus Spell Pierce. Alright, discard Spell Pierce. I think Gust and Bolt are actually pretty good, so discard this and draw a land. Till. I mean, we just Gust this Cavalier of Thorns. And attack for... Oh, there's dead, actually. I'm sorry. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah. I forgot how much damage these things actually do. Alright, yeah, we just Gust this and kill them. Sick. Didn't realize that we got in a few chip shots. The old one-punch Drake. Sick. Alright, well, that game looked pretty scary, but, you know, when you got that punching power, you can do your thing. So, obviously, we're in gold from a ladder reset, but a pretty convincing 3-game set there against a variety of decks in the format, a tribal deck, a Rakdos mid-range deck, and a Mono Green Devotion deck. His next guess, you know, I think this deck is, you know, I think that playing Arclight, you know, is Arclight better in Pioneer than this deck is definitely a real question. But on Arena in Explorer, where there is no treasure cruise, I think Arclight's basically unplayable. Whereas this deck is excellent. You know, you have to make up for the loss of treasure cruise with Ox partially, but just Drake and Fable are so much card advantage that you almost don't need cruise, which is great. So, and you get to keep all the wonderfulness of playing, 21 drops, a bunch of spells, a bunch of cheap interaction, Shredder, which is super awesome as well. Pretty good sideboard. Deck sweet. I love this deck. I like this deck a lot. So give it a spin on Explorer, and let me know how it goes, all right? I'm Drew Davis, hoping for a wonderful year here on CoolStuffInc.com in 2023. Make sure you go to the website. They have free content every weekday for myself and others. I do a video Monday, article Friday. Use promo code JIP5, 5% off your order, and get a sweet Goblin token, which is cool. Might do a new token this year also, which is great. And yeah, CoolStuffInc.com. I'm Drew Davis. I'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one. Have a great year, too.